One of the biggest concerns people have that I hear talking about my campaign is I don't currently live in District 12. I currently live in Clarion County where I've resided basically my entire life. And because that's not part of the district, a lot of people, even if they like a lot of my ideas, are apprehensive to go ahead and vote for me because of this. So I wanted to do a video to try to address some of these concerns. My idea is to be as transparent as possible and leave the great conferees of District 12 make the most informed, best possible choice. So I wanted to address some of these concerns, and hopefully it will show that I still think that I would be the ideal candidate to represent the people of District 12. So the first connection I have to District 12 is there's been a lot of redistricting lately, from 2012 and then also in 2018. The district that I reside in used to be called District 5 before the 2018 redistricting. It included parts or all of 4 counties that are currently in District 12, and they had been my entire life. That is Potter County, parts of Tioga County, Center County, and Clinton County. Now, I've lived in the same area within a 20-mile radius my entire life in rural Pennsylvania. I was connected to these counties my entire life. Just because a judge redrew some line doesn't mean I'm no longer connected to these areas. And I also understand that rural Pennsylvania is an area that is very similar, not just demographically and geographically, but just in way of life in general. We know as rural Pennsylvanians what it means to be someone who's overlooked, someone that was chided by Obama as clinging to our guns and Bibles. It's the entire area. The area I live in Clarion County is remarkably similar in how we live and how the area looks and the beautiful landscapes and the beautiful areas we have, as is District 12. We also have very similar problems with things like broadband internet, problems with things like infrastructure and jobs, regulations hurting small businesses, and other things such as that, the opioid crisis. And so I understand the issues that surround District 12, and I know how to be able to affect them. In fact, I think I've done a very good job of putting out issue-specific, detailed positions, such as the broadband position, which we did a 12-minute video on and released a bunch of information outlining exactly what the problem is, how it's important to solve it, and how our possible solutions to be able to solve it. We've done the same with the opioid crisis. Also with things like energy. We understand in rural Pennsylvania, things like fracking in the energy industry are very important. We need to cut down regulations on exporting so that we can have even more of these lucrative jobs come to help the people of District 12 and boost our overall economy. So I do understand one of the questions of, well, if you're not from the district, do you know about the district? Would you care about the people in the district? Yes, I think that I've lived in this area my whole life in rural Pennsylvania, and I think that it shows through the positions that I've been putting out that I have a detailed understanding of the unique problems and issues facing rural Pennsylvania in places like District 12. I also, if I win, would plan on moving to the district immediately. It would only be about an hour and a half move for me to get into District 12, and it's something that I would be very serious about. I think that it would be important to live in the district once I win the nomination, would be able to represent there. I would live there currently if I had more of a financial means to do, but my job currently is located in around the Clarion area, and so I have no choice but to live here now. But I've always been in love with rural Pennsylvania, and District 12 is the best representation of that, and I feel that I would very much enjoy living my life there. I also think that I am most like the average District 12 constituent. If you look at the facts, most of District 12 is below medium income levels, not only nationally, but also within the state. That's how I lived my entire life. I'm blue collar. I live in rural Pennsylvania my whole life. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. My entire reason for running is these are the people I respect most. The people of rural Pennsylvania, who for too long have been enriching our entire country. Places like people like special interest groups, people like specific politicians, and even enriching other countries while we don't have a voice. That is my entire reason for running, to give these people a voice. And I hope that that really shows. I really, truly mean that about the people of District 12. And I do want to give them a voice, as I do all rural Pennsylvanians, which is the only reason that I'm running. I also have specific plans that I think set me apart from other candidates on how to connect to people of District 12 even more when I'm elected. A lot of people said things like, well, we need to have so many offices and things like that. That is important. But I have 2 things that separate me that I haven't heard other candidates talk about. One is, as you can see from videos such as this and all the material I released, I am very serious about being as transparent as possible and using as many platforms as possible, whether it be videos, PowerPoints, traditional emails, mailers, connections with local media, and connections with national media, to be able to let people know in as many ways as possible exactly what I'm up to in Washington and to hear their voice. I would plan on releasing a video weekly to show exactly what I did that week in Washington and what was coming up the following week, and to have a platform at that point where I could answer questions that would be asked of me from the great people of District 12. In addition, I would be proposing legislation that we could use secure teleconferencing so that instead of me being in Washington all of the time, I could be there a far more limited amount of time and spend more time in my home district. That would allow me to be connected with the people around me that I'm representing. I understand this isn't a job. It is me representing the great people of District 12 as their voice. And so the more I could stay in the area, the better. The way this teleconferencing would work is it would be secure. I could go to my office in District 12 and then be able to teleconference in along with everyone else that is currently in Congress. They could be in their home districts. This would get us all out of the bubble that is Washington, D.C., and that would give a tremendous voice not only more to District 12, but to rural areas all across the country. Because what happens is people that represent rural districts get sucked into this bubble that is Washington and forget what it's like for the people back home. So I think this would help tremendously in District 12, and it would help me be connected and understand the people of District 12 better than what I've heard the other candidates be advocating for at this time. I also, like I was saying, know the issues that are specific to District 12 and have talked about it, such as the opioid crisis, energy regulations, and broadband. And we presented very detailed plans. Many other people say, yes, these are problems, but they haven't really came up with solutions or presented their ideas. Me and my team have talked specifically about what all the problems are, why they're important, and what our possible solutions are. And I think that shows that I do have a great understanding of the unique situation that District 12 is in and other places like rural Pennsylvania. Now, the final concern that I'm hearing is the Democratic nominee, whose name is Mark Friedenberg, could potentially use this as an attack against me in a general election and accuse me of carpetbagging and just moving into the district to win the seat. I feel this would be a huge mistake on Friedenberg's part and would actually end up benefiting me in the long run, and I'll tell you why. The first reason is we've already released a detailed plan on how to defeat Friedenberg. We went through all of his positions. It seems that many of his strong positions are things like transparency and inclusivity. I feel that I'm in a unique position more than most of the other candidates to be able to win on the arguments that are his strongest arguments. For example, transparency. I'm as transparent as it comes. I'm trying to talk to everyone in as many platforms as possible. I put videos up with all my positions where I take a stance and it's public for everyone to see. This is as transparent as it comes. In fact, I would be encouraged and willing to debate Mark Friedenberg as many times as possible in front of as many people as possible, because I feel that it shouldn't be about sniping each other or bringing up things of the past or anything like that. We should both just say, here's what our policies are, and let the people decide. I think the people of District 12 will really follow my pro-Second Amendment, pro-constitutional principles, pro-fiscal conservatism platform more than they would favor his platform. And so this transparency would be a huge advantage to me and would take away one of his stronger arguments. As with inclusivity, I feel the same way. I'm encouraging that I think the Democratic Party and use of identity politics is actually hurting them with demographics such as minorities, single women, and other such groups. I'm trying to argue that the Republican Party is the party of everyone. We judge you only on your character and your actions, not on your race, not on your gender, not on your class, not on your age. None of that matters. And I think this message will resonate. The Republican Party is becoming the party of the big tent party. We accept everyone, regardless of any of these superficial differences. To us, it's all about who you are, your character. And I think that will really help me win one of his stronger arguments of inclusivity. The second reason is that I've lived in rural Pennsylvania my whole life. Mark was born in Philadelphia and recently moved to State College, which is sort of a bubble and doesn't really represent all of what District 12 is, which gets far more rural once you get out of the area of State College. I think that I'm better able to connect to the people of District 12 in this way. I think they'll understand, just because a judge drew some lines and say, I'm no longer in the district, the way I've lived my life my entire life and my understanding of how these people are the backbone of the country is genuine. And it does have me to have more of a connection to them and more of a reason to want to give them a voice and to understand their unique situation in life than Mark Friedenberg, who came from Philadelphia and currently lives in State College. However, for those of you in Center County, I'm not forgetting you. I actually think that I would be better in Center County against Friedenberg than most of the other candidates. This is because I'm able to reach the different demographics that I was just talking about. In addition to that, I could reach young people because I'm using new technologies that'll reach out to them. I understand the importance of young people and will want them to work with the Republican Party, not just superficially, but actually having an important role in where the Republican Party is going. And so because of that, I would be able to reach college-age students better and college-age people better and would do far better in Center County as well, which is also very important to represent those people in the strongest possible way. And the last reason I have is that I live like the average District 12 person. I live paycheck to paycheck. I've done blue collar work my whole life. I would connect better to these people than Friedenberg, who's someone who works in academia and someone who's come originally from a city. I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. I know the importance of blue collar work. I know that we don't want government handouts. We just want to be left alone. We want to be able to survive based off of our own labor. And I feel that I represent that better than Friedenberg. And so if he tries to make some sort of argument, I'm from outside the district, so I don't understand the district, I think that will backfire. I think that Mark seems like a decent person, and we would be able to just have debates on the issues, which is the most important thing. If he wants to talk about our backgrounds, I think that's even a stronger point for me over him in District 12, and then it would be a mistake for him to do so. So as such, I don't think that we should be the worry of, well, I'm not from the district, will that hurt my electability? I don't think so, because I think electability-wise, I stand to be a far stronger opponent against that specific opponent of Friedenberg. Like him, I'm not going to take corporate money. I'm for representing individual voices for a diverse group of people. And I think that really takes a lot of the thunder out of the positions that he'll be trying to strongly go for. So, lastly, I'd just like to say, if you're someone that says, hey, I think Rob has a lot of good ideas and I like it, but I'm still not going to vote for him because he's not in the district, I sincerely think that's your right, and I totally respect that. I honestly do. Everyone should vote for whatever's in their heart and whatever reasons they think is best for them. I have no problem with that. I've been honored to be part of this process. Now, I do think that I am the best candidate to represent the people of District 12 and to give them a voice. I think that I'm most like them. I think that I've exhibited, I understand the issues, and that's literally the only reason, the main reason I'm running, is that I want to give these people a voice. I have a unique ability to be able to speak and connect with people as I have in my career in academia and in debate at the highest levels, to be able to advocate articulately, with civility, with humor, with grace, and with respectability. But my number one concern is advocating, because the people I respect most in this life are hardworking people in rural Pennsylvania like those of District 12. And I hope that you'll understand that I genuinely want to advocate for them and understand the issues that they face in life. So thank you very much for this time, and I can't wait to see everyone finally on March 2nd. Thanks.